Hi, this is Andrea.
And this is Fiorenza.
Welcome to the Belonging Project podcast. We are so excited to have you here with us.
The purpose of this podcast is to bring voices together to talk about belonging. Through inspiring, real-life conversations with our guests, we learn about how belonging can show up in so many different ways, what it feels like to belong, and the impact of truly belonging.
In each episode, we will offer you inspirational and practical strategies to find your true voice in your life, in society, and as a leader. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, we are so happy to have with us Alexandre on your podcast today. Alexandre is Global Human Talent Manager at Chipper and has more than 20 years of experience in HR, working in many different industries. We met each other during a coaching engagement, and we immediately connect, being both of us born and raised in the same city, Curitiba, in the south of Brazil, and also being both passionate about so many topics. His background, and especially overcoming so important challenges in his personal and professional life, made me think that he would be an amazing guest for our podcast. Alexandre, we are so excited to have you here. And in order to get started, would you like to share a little bit more about you and your story?
Hello, everyone. First of all, I'm super happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure and an honor to be part of this project. I admire you as a person and a professional, and I'm sure that this initiative will help many people to find their true self and live life more fully. So thank you a lot to the opportunity. So I'm Alexandre and people call me Alex. I'm 45 years old, Brazilian. I'm married with Fabio for 23 years. And in 2017, we adopted our kids, Caio and Kaique. At that time, they were 9 and 11 years old. Andrea, being a father was and is an incredible process of belonging. And everyone know, our children are brothers, Black, and living their childhood in a foster house. They believed that they would forever belong to that place because people told them they were already big and no family would adopt them. So they didn't give up hope of being part of a family and any kind of a family. And we want to belong to a family with two boys and brothers. That's why I believe that belonging is wanting to be someone in the world. And
you make me cry.
No.
Yeah.
So about my original family, my parents live on a beach in southern Brazil near Curitiba, and which is my hometown. My older brother and sister live with their families in Curitiba, and another brother in Chicago. Professionally, I have a degree in psychology, an MBA in strategic people management, and an international coaching certification. As you told, I have 20 years background in human resources and internal communication, 14 years on leadership roles in people management, expertise in organizational transformation projects, focused on business development and employee engagement. And, I believe that I'm a hands-on and strategic at the same time. And myself and professional purpose is to be a change agent to help people developing their maximal potential.
Wow.
And I believe in this, my background. My first experience on HR was the start to belonging something. Because I worked in a Mexican IT company in 2001. In Brazil, the core business was consultant services to customers on SAP implementation, business intelligence, and system support. I've worked almost 10 years at this company. My first position was as recruitment analyst, a temporary work for 3 months. And they believed that I could be the focal point in São Paulo. Despite I didn't have background in HR area, no, because they believed that I had the core values. No, so I started my career in HR because of my core values, not because my background.
Wow,
no,
I didn't
yes. In this company, after 3 months, I started my development in the company. While the business was growing, I've grown too. And my career path was a consultant, coordinator, and senior management. My main responsibility was on organizational culture and people development. So I oversaw a human capital department of 12 people, team members, and across different 5 cities in Brazil. And as I told you, I believe that in this company, I recognized my HR belonging.
Wow, that's beautiful. And I see like how you are expanding this over these years, like your impact, your now the person that you are now connecting in your family now, but even your experience. So how do you define belonging?
I was thinking about it now the last days, and I reflect a lot about this, and I truly believe that is more than a feeling. Belonging is to be.
Wow.
It's bringing together who I project to be with who I believe I am. Now, for me, it's so important because it's about, I don't know this word in English. It's congruence. I don't know if they have this word in English, but it's bringing together who I project to the world, how I am, with who I believe I am. Now, for example, I belong to an original family and other that I built. During my life, I belonged to a school, a group of friends, the theater, psychology. I belonged for over 20 years to one city, and now for another 20 years to another city. Now, I believe that follow a path of belonging where we are part of something. And many times we don't stop to reflect and assume that true belonging is to be who I am and not where I am.
Wow, this is so powerful.
Yes, and many people believe that this point of view is individualistic. No, but I think that belonging to who I am is the basis or the baseline for being able to belong in other situations and with other people. No, so the common thread of my story and my legacy is myself.
Yes, I totally agree with that. I also have something that a quote on my website in my material that says, belonging is to be who you are, whatever you live or work. So regardless where you are, if you are in Curitiba, São Paulo, United States, Europe, when we know ourselves, we can be our authentic self in all this, in any place.
Yes, it's true. And I remember something now. I've worked in an IT company, a Brazilian IT company. When I started to work there, everyone knows about me, about my sexuality, my marriage, and everything. And the CEO and the owner of the company, sometimes when I arrived in a board committee or something, when I will enter in this meeting, he said to me, no, you can't enter in this meeting because you are gay, you are homosexual.
Wow.
Yes. And at that time and that point, I truly think that that place is not my place, or I don't know. It's so strange because this occurred on 2012 to 2012, no, and I heard about this for 3, 6, I don't know, 8 months, no, and sometimes I reflect that, oh, I don't know, is more important my sexuality or more important my professional side and my results and etc. No, so of course this is not my was not my place. I didn't belong on this place. Yeah. No, so because of this, I believe that the common thread of my story and my legacy is myself. It's not the things that I do or I make. No, it's me.
Yes. Yes.
And if the people don't recognize it, this is not important.
Yes.
No, because it's not my place. It's only this.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so sorry to hear this happen with you. And it's incredible to think about, this happened with you in 2012. And of course, it looks like yesterday in a point of view, but even if now we are almost in 2022, so 10 years later, but we still see so many of these realities, unfortunately. And for some reason, when we talk nowadays about unconscious bias and all these microaggressions, all these topics, because this is a typical example of microaggression. And one thing I say that is, I feel privileged that nowadays, like even this year now, that these conversations are more frequent in organizations and places. We can say, even if something happened with an employee in your company, they could come to you, to the HR, they could feel safe. Not in our organization, but most of, we hope that this is microaggressions, this is unconscious bias. I have experience with clients because of where they are from or so many challenges that they face because of the accent, because of the sexuality.
True.
They are able to say, this is unconscious bias, this is microaggressions, and we can report these and anyways fight for some kind of equity, some kind of respect or in any kind. Right?
But to me, diversity is obviously we are diverse. No, I'm man, you are a woman, and you are blonde. No, I'm brunette. I don't know. I use glasses, and you doesn't use glasses, and these kind of things. No, but it's obvious the diversity. But we need to talk about more. We need to talk every time about diversity to be natural, the respect of the diversity.
Yeah. Because we never know what is behind, what is the story. Most of the times people see, like I know that in Brazil, they are talking a lot about the race, and here also in the same topic, they talk a lot about Afro-American people, Black people, and of course it's important to talk about that. But even though we are, both of us, white people, like if you are talking about color of the skin, we have some diversity in some way. So diversity is bringing so many spectrums, not so many criteria.
But nowadays we suffer more prejudice for having Black children than for being homosexual.
Wow.
Yes, because two men with two big kids, blacks, no, in a restaurant, in a supermarket, and etc. So when we were only me and Fabio, we didn't notice prejudice, but now with Caio and Kaique, we noticed every time. So duration prejudice, I believe, is more than the sexuality or other diversity prejudices.
Thank you.
Because of this, we need to talk about more, and see that I have a life, I have a family. This is so natural.
Yes.
No, because we live, we are. No? So we need to talk about it.
Yes, totally. So when you think about belonging, link it with the situations, the well-being, the workplace, the inclusion, or even the situations in the leadership. How could you describe this? If you have any situation in mind, or what is the link between them?
In general, a company seeks to make people want to belong, to generate engagement, and for the company to last its business. Mm-hmm. No? And in these situations, the most used word in this case is retention. We want to retain professionals. Right. I don't like this word because retain is like holding back, forcing them to behave. No, I prefer the word connection. Mm-hmm. Connecting people in the culture, in the business challenge, and with that, the person chooses how much they will engage and in what or which way. So, and obviously, engagement is a matter of belonging. For me to feel that I belong to a company, I first must have a combination of my values and beliefs with those of the company. Now we need this kind of match. No? Another example is becoming a leader. Mm-hmm. Becoming a leader is a challenge of belonging, but it does not mean belonging to an exclusive function or group. No, it is being a reference for other people. So being a leader is leaving a legacy in people. That's why it's belonging to me now in the company. Once again, belonging is being, it's not other thing. And you know, in Brazil, we have a difference that we don't have on the verb to be, for example, in English. Right. Because we have a double meaning on the verb to be. No, so we said that in Brazil we are meaning ser or estar is different. Yes. No, so but for me belonging is being, and to me on the company I need to be myself and notice that we have a match or not with the culture. No, because if the culture don't have the same values or principles that I have on my personal life, mm-hmm. we don't have a match and we don't succeed well in the company, no, as a professional or the company as a business too.
100% agree. I have this conversation a lot with my clients. Sometimes they happen in a job interview or whatever's happening in the organization. And we need to go now deep understanding what are your values, my values, and if these values is in alignment with the company values, exactly what you said, because it's a win. It needs to be a win-win situation, right?
Exactly.
And feel comfortable, feel in alignment with the company, and vice versa, even the company with us.
Because of this, in Chipper, for example, it's most important to us on the first contact, in the first interview with a candidate, the cultural fit. So we have a 30 minutes interview only about cultural fit and asking about situations to understand if the person has this kind of cultural fit. It's very important. if the person is have a huge and important background, is not so important than the cultural fit.
Very good. I really like that. So, and I'm curious if you remember a moment in your life that you feel that you belonged or you didn't belong. What comes to your mind?
Of course, it's very clear, I believe. As I told, I was born in Curitiba, a city in southern Brazil. I am the youngest of four brothers. Mm-hmm. And Curitiba as a city is a beautiful, organized, and a clean city.
Yeah.
And with traditional thinking and culture, where people's surnames are very important.
Mm-hmm.
And I always felt out of place in the way people relate and pressure to follow a social rule in my personal and professional choices. I was raised to belong to this group, but I belonged differently. Homosexual, the only psychologist in a family of engineers, innovator, dreamer, actor. I was actor. From the moment I came to myself, who I was, I broke down some limiting beliefs.
Wow.
Whether or not I belonged in a group was based on limiting beliefs that I didn't belong in something normal or the familiar partner to follow.
Yeah.
In this way, I was the first child to leave my parents' house.
Wow.
I moved to another city. I assumed my relationship and my sexuality with the certainty of being to which I belonged.
You were so courageous.
Yes, I believe. Nowadays, I believe. And I think belonging is an evolving journey. As we mature as a person, we discover new facets of ourselves. It's an evolving process. External factors or unplanned change can change us. And with that, belonging will change. It will evolve. In São Paulo, I belong today is completely different from the city I arrived in 2001.
Right.
My personal and professional evolution made me experience new situations, discover new places in the world, conquer new friendships, face the fears of change. This whole story helps us to clarify our being and belonging,
That's beautiful. That's very powerful. And again, you were so courageous because
yes. I always heard about it. At first, I always said, no, it's not about this. It's other thing. But now I know. No, it's courage.
It is. And you need to be proud of that. This is part of your story. So
exactly.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And what do you think is the important factors to feel that you belong? What is that?
So these are simple and challenging factors at the same time. To me, it's self-recognition and self-acceptance. In this sense, to feel that I belong, I believe that I need to deepen my knowledge of myself, recognize my limiting beliefs, and thus refrain, fully live my values, knowing that I'm imperfect, and that's what will make me evolve my belonging.
Yeah.
And I know about this because a beautiful person called Andrea helped me to understand that I'm imperfect. This imperfection.
We all are imperfect.
Exactly, but you helped me a lot to understand this, and assume this. I'm imperfect, and it's beautiful because of this imperfection. I will evolve my belonging, myself, who I am, who I'm being.
And what I love about what you said is this evolution, this continue growing, evolving. Like when we think that people in general, right, that we need to be perfect, it's limited.
Exactly.
Now I need to arrive in a certain point and then I'm perfect, I'm done. And when we, like exactly what you said, when we open to this, I don't need to be perfect, and say, I'm perfectly imperfect. Right?
Yeah.
It's now exactly what's happening with you, like in your mindset, you're involving. Like I love what you said in the beginning of our call, in this new role, you are constantly learning and unlearning what you learn. So it's this continual evolution of you, right? Your growth.
Exactly.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. So before we wrap up here, I'd like to ask you 3 quick prompts that we usually ask for our guests.
Let's see.
So really 3 things that comes to your mind. So, Alex, in a few words, belonging for me is?
Again, is more than a feeling. Belonging is to be.
Fantastic. The best advice that I received and I'd like to share with others is?
Knowing that I'm imperfect, and that's what will make me evolve my belonging.
Amazing, amazing. And last but not least, the world will be a better place if?
I reflect a lot about this because it's so difficult, no? But the world will be a better place if we believe we are capable, able to recognize ourselves, change, face our fears, belong to ourselves.
Wow, that was beautiful, 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 beautiful. Thank you so much for being here, to sharing your story, to sharing this amazing perspective, knowledge, ideas. I'm feeling so emotional right now. It was a pleasure having you here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you to the opportunity, and I hope to help people with my reflections and ideas.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Belonging Project podcast. We hope you enjoy our deep dive into belonging and listening amazing stories from our guests.
We'd love you to share about the Belonging Project with your friends and colleagues. And also, we'd be delighted to connect on LinkedIn and share more about our experiences. Thank you again, and stay tuned for the next episode.